Hello, and welcome to what is going to be my new Let's Play. So, some people might know of it, but I'm a little salty about what happened last time. So, I'm sort of just gonna go and make Sailing in the North. Now, I'm not exactly sure what to call it, as of yet, but I'll give it a name eventually. So, yeah, I'm gonna be in a custom nation this time round. And it will damn well be something that I can crush Japan with. What the hell are these colours? Well, let's get one like that. Actually, I might want to reverse those colours a bit. Similar to Japan's flag, but, you know, not quite the same. So, I'm still a bit salty, definitely. No doubt about that. And I'm just going to start with redevelopment. That's how I'm going to put it. I'm going to start with the, where's the government type? I would like to start as a special government type, but not as a daimyo. I'm going to be an independent daimyo. And that doesn't give me all that much. That gives me a bit. And I have to be a culture of Japanese. That's totally fine. I'll be Japanese within a moment. And I'm still going to be Shinto. But the culture is definitely going to be Japanese. So I just have to find it in this list and throw it on there. Actually, game, could I be allowed to scroll without? So I'm going to go with the Tokachi one. And now it's time for my ideas. Now, I want to actually stick below 50 points. So I'm going to start with a discipline idea and also a development idea. Now, the development one costs a fair bit, and I can't exactly have that much of it, but I can manage it. Now, the other ideas, like colonist, nah, no chance. I can't have those. So, I'm not going to exactly be able to do that much, but I can stand a small chance, I suppose, of doing things. And I don't really have a complaint about any of these current military ideas that I have. I'll probably get the infantry combat ability one, up it a bit. So, now, I suppose I'll name it the Tokachi Empire, after the starting province I have. Now, the nation... well, I didn't actually see what it had, but I'll just change it. So, Tokachian. Let's find a nice colour for ourselves, is it? Maybe we can be a nice gold. So, yeah, I'm a little salty still about what had happened. And in all honesty, what I could do here is just set this guy's age to stupid old. Or, actually, I can set it to stupid young. Have my heir be horrendously old. Have the one that makes him lose the most points. Absolutely horrendous heir. And squeeze the most points I can out of my ruler. So there's a good chance he'll die and so on. So I personally want a good starting type that will allow me to effectively crush the, well, enemy. So a bored fighter is very much one that's beneficial. And I'll get a few points in each area. Now, how do I get this down a bit? Maybe I make my queen older? Nope, no effects. But I can reduce the points that she costs, like that. So, there we go. I'm a Grand Daimyo, so effectively, I'll have a nice little advantage there. I'm happy with those ideas. The Tokachi Empire now exists. So the start of the game is going to be me taking out Ainu, And it's going to be a bit of a trickery, effectively, I think, to get involved down here. Or possibly colonising and going up this way. We'll be seeing where we go either way. Hopefully Japan will become my homeland, but if that's not to be the case, we'll just have to see what else it goes. So, that's me. And I will play on Iron Man. Just to earn possibly one of the few achievements I can. As a custom nation. So, either way, it's just going to be called Tokachi. I can't be bothered for much more. But yeah, I'm pretty miffed at what happened with the date run. Especially after what was going on. I was saying BR, they're not going to do a thing. Didn't know they had that cautious belly. And that happened. I should have taken the white piece when I could have. It would have been very much a good idea. And I could have possibly beaten them in the next war, but I suppose it wasn't happening. Because I'm greedy. So now I know from now on, if I'm facing odds like that, unless I'm certain I can do something, don't do that. Badly. So we start with the same amount of men as they do. I'm going to build a spy network immediately. Now, we're losing money at the start. Not the greatest way to begin with it, is it? But, well, it could be worse. So, income-wise, our military is losing money. Slowly, though. Fleet-wise, we're not exactly making that much in the first place. So, that's how I'm going to start. Start making money, and we'll get on our feet. We'll develop this top island to be a very hefty fortress for us. Oh, my ruler is female, didn't know that. Well, that's just a greater chance to get my son killed. Now, what I would like to probably do is conquer these up here. Even if it's not particularly worthwhile gain, it could be a possibility. There's also this area here. So if I can gain naval dominance, I could possibly gain Sakhalin, for example, off the Yeren. That would be another small, but definitely possible gain. And it would actually give me access to claim the Kamchatkals. No, the Kamchatka. Wait, no? Yeah, it is the Kamchatkals, that's just the name of the province. So, the Ainu are not really a threat, I think. Well, let's get into Speed 5 mode, is it? So, what achievements can we gain? Well, we can have all of these regular, generic achievements. But there's also from Humble Origins. I had no more than 50 points, so that's quite true. He wants to ally me. I'm suspicious, but sure. That could actually be used to my advantage, actually, in the long run. This one, I actually started with the right conditions. I could use this to my advantage, though. If I were able to get the favours, which is possible, I can definitely get those favours eventually. And I could use him against my enemies, alongside his vassals. So I'm going to build some infantry, and I'm going to get ready to start hammering the Ainu. Now, unlike them, I should have the... Yep, I do indeed have it. Press the issue. So now I have a claim on their lower province. Their upper province is the only one that has any resistance now. I want to claim both just to be as effective as possible. I need the effectiveness. But yeah, I will take these two provinces, and then I think I'll use what I can with the Ashikaga to possibly... Now, I gain a favour every 2 years, so 20 years it would take for me to be able to call them into a war. But what I could do is I could possibly get a good hold in Manchuria early on by using the Ashikaga as a battering ram. And if I were to do that, that would be a very nice way to jumpstart my campaign. Because if I gain a good continental hold, possibly through these areas here, Ming would most likely want me to become a tributary, but yeah, he's already trying to make someone into one, isn't he? Yep. Yeah, Ming is going to be a very big pain in the ass, I think, during this campaign. So, I want to get these provinces to a good level of development, to say the least. Which is not going to be too difficult, I think. And the war shouldn't take too long. It'd be a quick crush of his military, which is slightly smaller than mine. And then the gaining of these two provinces. Now, I need to enforce our heritage. That requires some stability, but that should not be an issue. And once we have that stability, we can enforce it and gain an advantage in converting them. Well, he's on his way now in terms of where he's going. I'll declare for the province that has no, fort. And head there to meet him in battle. So I should be able to win this under any circumstance. Unless I roll immensely bad, but even then I have both morale, discipline and a numbers advantage. So it's stupendously unlikely. And what's with me and getting glory seekers? So I can't let him build there. I'm going to halve the military and send some down here for the moment. I just have to wait a bit. Oh, you want to blockade me with your inferior fleet? Are you sure about that? Probably shouldn't have just, thrown it out there before it was fully done up, but I did. And it's doubtful it's going to go too badly, is it now? After all, his fleet is the one that's losing all the ships. So I can put these back in port. I lost a ship, not particularly an issue for me. Oh yeah, it did rise the maintenance automatically. But yes, that's how I wish to start. Take them out of the equation. So their provinces aren't anything special at all. They both cost about all the 3 pence. 55 admin. That's all I need. Pay for that. And I'll get this to a 442 alongside these, eventually anyway. As that will effectively massively enhance my income. In comparison to what I started with, this is already a very significant boost. And it does help put me on a more even footing with the Ashikaga. Now, I don't have to worry about the unrest, I think. Either, so favours wise, we'll be gaining them bit by bit. And we'll be definitely using him to our advantage against the Yeren. We're also fighting the Chinese. The Chinese are fighting pretty much everyone. I don't particularly like them, but I can't do a thing about it. But yes, if they become tributaries, I can't exactly attack them anymore. It becomes a bit more complex. So I'm going to want to start building claims on them, I suppose. Because if I can gain Sakhalin alone, that would be a nice little gain. Because it would be effectively a third of our own development. If we were to go by base development, rather. But it would add yet more locations to develop. And it would expand my effective hold further. It would also give me the ability to claim Eastern Siberia. So it's not exactly the most interesting of starts, but it's a beginning to an end. What else is there to pay maybe a significant amount of attention to? Possibly, when we have this up here, we can colonise and gain a significant gain of land up here. Not particularly rich land, but land nevertheless. So now we own the entirety of this island, bar 2 provinces. First of all, we call this, I suppose. It'll be done quite soon after all. Let's gain that admin in prestige and preparation for a few things. In particular, I will have to convert all of that, so that'll be fun, I imagine. So, yeah, I have the right culture, Togoku, for the northern area of Japan, and I'll be definitely culture converting as much as I can. So, this is going to be the beginning of my little revenge run, where I start out independent and they allied me of all things. So, you know, that was interesting to say the least. But I'm certainly going to be hoping to watch him suffer. Should have done this earlier. I made a mistake, actually. I can't use it because there's no neighbouring country that is not in the Eastern group. They were the one in that Eastern group. Do the Tengri count as an Eastern group? I don't know. They've converted their own issue though. But if they're not in that group, I can take Sakhalin and use them to gain that ability. Let's scout out what their fleet has, because they're clearly blockaded by the Ming right now. So there's a ship there, and then there's 9 ships there. I do think a bigger warship would be a good idea to start it, but Now, if these are gonna definitely rebel, unless I do something about it. They're 20 unrest after all. Non-accepted culture, separatism, wrong culture. It's just all types of things that make it significantly an issue. But once I've cored said provinces, which is certainly possible, I'll be able to gradually get at them. In fact, I'm gonna get this next admin boost to get to me 5/5 soon. And that should allow me to start considering at least what I wish to do with my military. And my navy actually, in matters of invading them. Caution is not actually able to help them over here. And it's just Sakhalin I want, just that. I'm going to want to put that there, and I'm going to want to produce a naval fleet. So this is an inland sea, so galleys will be effective. Though I'm not exactly making much money to use to my advantage there. So by this logic, they'll be up in arms in less than 2 years. But I can't exactly afford to lower the autonomy. So the thing that I can do though is possibly try and try and up my military might by enough to compete with it. But that might be ineffective. Now, once I've converted them, their culture's going to be wiped out, certainly. Don't exactly need to lose that stability, and I don't really care about the inflation. It's a bit of a bullshit event, if you ask me. But yeah, so we'll keep developing this till it's at 20 development overall, as that would be quite beneficial. And I could possibly take Sakhalin right now, because the Ming may destroy their navy completely. Nope, Ming did not destroy their navy, and that navy is slightly stronger than mine. And it sits at, well, at the moment, I should see it here, in a little bit of time, but their navy should sit at a level higher than mine. So I'm going to develop the admin till it's at 10. So his main fleet is 7 cogs, and there is 1 trade ship. That 1 trade ship is the fastest of his fleet. And it will be what I need to effectively... Well, I can effectively take out his entire fleet if I'm lucky. So he wants me to take this first, and that's definitely what I'll be doing. So I can attempt to harsh treatment them if I absolutely must. The Ainu are not going to become independent, I'll promise that. What else is there to look into? Further development here is going to be a smart idea. In particular, admin development. Whew. So, in the grand scheme of things, Sakhalin is not a massive worthful province, but for my situation, it very much will be worth a lot. Now, if I also then use it to jump to these 3, if they remain here, that will further be beneficial because these 3 provinces are all coastal and so provide naval bonuses. But they're also all on the area that is closest to America. So if I go down the colonial route, which is exactly what I intend to do, particularly to gain access to the Kurils and easy expansion opportunities in America, it is indeed definitely the most likely route that I take, as it also opens up the ability to take all of this. So that up there is wasteland. I can't take that, but I can take everything else there. I will fabricate on their other province. It will annoy them, I think. They don't even know who I am because they can't see me. So I would want some galleys. Just a few, but they will be enough. And now I'll spend some more admin power to continue to expand my capital into a bustling city. Military-wise, I will definitely be on the upper hand soon. Oh well, that's useful. So, those units will be out soon. They're going to rebel soon. I can't exactly handle them. Let's harsh treatment them and put them down a bit. I can't exactly allow you to come and annoy me now, can we? 1 and a bit years before they'd rebel once again. The Renaissance has now appeared, which is gonna complicate matters, but not destroy them. Oh yes, I had a mission to convert Shirabeshi. So there's almost certainly going to be a rebellion, I think. We have such a unsettled province. I will continue to invest money into things though. And I will continue my expansion, I hope, in due time. I've got a year apparently. I disagree, I have more than that now. I disagree again, I have more than that. So as I will be making all the Shinto, which is nice in the long run, I'll also be, once I've taken this, I'll be turning, oh wait, it's going to have religious zeal, isn't it? Lovely. I hate the religious zeal modifier, it's pretty stupid I think. Whoever thought it was a good idea. Nah, not really mate. So the Ashikaga, how many favours am I up to now? If I have enough favours by the time I'm ready, I might just call them in and go for just an all-out gain lots of land. In particular, I would want to gain their entire coastline. And also, possibly some of their more valuable inner provinces. But that would be a very good start on Manchuria. And it would allow me to probably start expanding further down into the south and the west. And it would give me the economic base I need to start putting in power, I suppose. So I'm losing money very slightly here. And I actually do need a Diplo development before I can expand it administratively again. And I would like to get the Renaissance to spawn. Because if I can spawn it, I can definitely keep up with technology, which would be stupendously beneficial. And now it's actually split the uprisings into 2 separate ones, which is quite good actually for me. So what else is there that I would wish to pay attention to? And I think I know what it is. So Sakhalin, if I do manage to eventually take it, will be of an island, so my naval power is going to become a rather important factor that influences me. There's also the possibility that at some point I can attack Ryukyu and take their island with the use of the no casus belli and, you know, take a bit of a stab hit, but it'll be worthwhile. Because that would also give me better access to colonize down here, which would enable Taiwan to be colonized, which is a crucial factor, I think. But I don't think I'd be able to call their province, actually, sadly. Either way, I should start focusing on my technology once I've taken this to 9 admin development. Or I can just do this and be done with what I want for now. Though it does get me up to a fair bit of percentage on that. And the autonomy of these provinces is just going to keep going down bit by bit, so, you know, no issues there. So that's going to be the value province that I have. It's finally building that troop. And I'm going to want to actually halve this army. Because one half can go there, the other would be the one that sits on the island. Because I cannot stop them from getting there immediately. I might be able to take out their fleet with the fleet I have now. Can I not see it here? I would wish to see where their fleet is stationed. Well, there's this fleet ship here, which is sitting there. That would be a quick casualty of the war. Whew. So what else is there to pay attention to, I guess? Well, if I am to take Sakhalin, or possibly more off him, once Sakhalin is taken, that will be my invasion springboard, effectively, to get into the rest of Manchuria, which I all have to convert. The colonial side of things is still a good idea, I think, as it would enable me to get lots of land for free, effectively. Though admittedly that land is going to be quite poor. But these four up here in particular would be a possibility. The Wuku incident. I'll go towards the isolationist end, but I'll be taking the next option, which puts me towards the open side of things. Oh dear. This is going to be interesting. 2 incidents at once. So, diplomatic and administrative. I need to get those technologies up, but let's just get the province up a bit more, make more money still. I've developed the province enough now to be quite a formidable thing. Now, I definitely would not want to misjudge the navy of them. So where is the Yeren? They have 8 ships in total, so that's the size of my combat fleet, and 7 of them are cogs. So, I think I will be able to effectively keep their fleet at bay, as the barks have more guns than a cog and so on. But First of all, I would like to ensure that my own island is going to be safe, due to the conversions going on. And bloody hell, this chair is loud when it squeaks. That's going to be on there on the 1st of November. So my fleet is already in position. They are allied with the Oriat in Cochin. Both are pretty much irrelevant. I just need to take Sakhalin and I'll just sit there for as long as need be. Because once I own the province, they can't get over there to it. They arrive on the 7th of December. So our heir died and we've been given one that's better than him, but it's not hard to be better than a 0, 0, 0. So now, with Sakhalin taken, they can't get over here, and we can just sit there. No issues at all. Because unless he moves his transport fleet to one of these tiles here, he can't get to it. And he'd have to have his ships on that fleet, and I'd be able to take it out. So effectively, I've won the war. He can't win it now. So now it's just a waiting game, I imagine. So either way, I shall leave it at that. This does reduce the autonomy that will be lowered by here, but that is not going to be an issue. As those provinces are not worth particularly the most massive amounts anyway. There's also, along the side of this fact, Yeren is down there. Is he going to... oh dear, he might be getting a bit rowdy. But I don't want to... I'll have to leave this up there and move this down here towards where I saw his fleet. A naval battle between that and that. This should be a crushing victory for me. Ships may be more durable as transports, but I have a severe firepower advantage, which has become very prominent now. If his entire fleet is sunk, which it looks like will not be the case, it looks like only one of them will survive there. It looks like we now have no issues at all. We can blockade that one in, and he cannot do a thing. So, for a time, I suppose we will be waiting. Let's swap these around. He has to blockade more than this. Just a little more optimization, really. And now we can convert the next one a bit faster. Oh, significantly faster, really. So, Shirabashi is now a lovely province that we have very firm control over. So, in time, we'll be gaining this land. If possible, I might even go long enough to gain Bahori without actually occupying it. That would be an interesting proposition, considering it would make me a bigger target, but would also very much make me very likely to be actually able to advance my military. So, among these, there's also... well, the Ashikaga is still going to be useful. Though, in particular, attacking Korea would be suicidal. as Ming is going to tributary everyone that it can. But there is an option here. Once I've grown of significant power, I could say to him, let me become a tributary, now delete his other tributaries, which could then be expanded further upon by me later on. And if that indeed ends up becoming the case, I would very much be able to eventually devour the entirety of all of that, and Korea, and then quite possibly attack Ming and use the Tokachi Empire as a new-found powerhouse. So here we are, you know, just slowly gaining war score. But they're not going to be able to do a thing. They can't. Which means I'm in a totally brilliant position here. That's the advantage of using islands and a stronger navy. It allows you to control quite a bit of the power of the area. For the matter, once I have Sakhalin, I can occupy this region here without a consequence, and quite possibly when one of them moves back to there, I can then conquer those as well from here. So I'm already going to own a little region here that I can dominate with my naval strength, and a bit of land strategicness as well. There's the possibility that I might just not form Japan either when I have the option to, because I could just become a Celestial Emperor instead. Also, I would rather not you do that. Now, when I can, I'm going to be coach converting this place to match Japanese culture here. Manchu culture I'm not going to convert because I can probably get that accepted quite easily. Now I just have to continue this war till... oh goodness, look at Korea. Korea being absurd immediately. A balanced leader. Gain the money, I can use it. So that's nice. So Sakhalin is a forest. Well, rather woods. So it's not exactly a poor province to develop either, though my home island has a mixture of marsh, hills and grassland. Grassland is without doubt the easiest to develop, hills the hardest. Here. Or was it actually marsh? Nope, hills and marsh are tied. I can sacrifice military tech to keep these two down, because they're not going to last much longer. And for the matter, as my strength grows, bit by bit, this makes it more likely that me and the Ashikaga are going to be on a slightly more even footing. So either way, I'm quite certain if I become a tributary after conquering, say, Manchuria, and dealing with Korea, of course, I could possibly conquer all of Yeren and Buryatia, and then offer to become a tributary, attack these ones, deal Mongolia and the Oryat, and from there, I would probably be in a very nice position to start pushing into Korea. Swing around here, conquer. I would be a very large empire by that time. And that would almost certainly give me the strength to deal with the Ashikaga and get revenge, if the daimyos don't do it for me. So, as of the moment, yeah, I'm just waiting now. Like, the relative strength of the alliances is going to take a while to really kick in, but, you know, they can't do a thing, like I said, so I'm going to get a free bit of war score. Can't really take anything else, because I'm, you know, not going to be military capable to do so. Also, Jianzhou is by itself, and it is a tributary state under Yeren. So, I could also attack them and gain a province if I wished. But that would require a bit more military strength. And so on. So, either way, if I do manage to eventually take all of this, and then start a war with Ming, in which case I would be able to start pushing them, maybe I could gain Celestial Empire and see what the effects are. What fun I could have. Well, I don't like this, but I'll have to take the hit. If I were to just devastate just a few provinces, I'd probably be able to cause Ming to start losing their mandate. And if they lose their mandate, they could end up in quite a situation. So, well, either way, the Beijing area is very rich, very much a worthwhile province to take if I can get it. Especially if that would give me the Empire of China. My enthusiasm is apparently at medium. But yeah, I could wait peace out the others, because I can wait all day for this. And I'm not joking either, I really can. I've just caused a slight building of war exhaustion constantly in Yeren, so I could easily mess him up that way. But this certainly looks like it'll be taking a while. Not that I have any issue with that, considering it will eventually be done. So let's get marketplaces. We'll have temples next as well. Is there anything else I would like to consider? Well, if I were to gain all of this, I would most certainly be the greatest power in the world. So, I could possibly exploit that to my advantage. Become a immensely powerful nation. Favours are looking pretty good. Yeah, soon I'm going to be able to call him into a war on favours, and that'll probably be the next war with Yeren. Let him land. But it could also function as a defensive alliance, and I could be very careful with how I manage things. And I could use that to my advantage. So I'm going to set the entire region over here as desired. So I don't really want to play as Ming though anytime soon, and the reason for that is pretty simple. They're just too strong, I think, at the start, and it wouldn't be a lot of fun, because I'm probably the one that just focuses on continuous growth. But this is what I want to gain in terms of an empire by the time I'm challenging some other areas on Japan itself. And bloody hell, this system is a bit janky, isn't it? Pause, because it's delayed. Got to select each province in the area. Wish I could just highlight a whole bunch at once. But yes, a fairly considerable size of land. Can I not select Seoul, please? Not Seoul, Jeju. But yeah, that's a lot of land I want to take, definitely, isn't it? And it looks like I will indeed be able to get Yeren. It's a province with no issue. Immediately? What the hell? Okay, I need to get you back down here. And I should hire a few mercs. Or I can hire regular Asian spear infantry. I'll have less cav, but I will be able to attack it. This is a slightly annoying thing. They definitely go and get it, I can't do a thing about that. So they're gonna get that, that's gonna be a very annoying thing. And I'm gonna be punishing them for it. Actually, I could let them come to me. Yeah, it was a percentage below it. It didn't get any alert for it, I'm quite certain. Might have just missed it because I'm blind. Pretty much, but you know. He's gonna accept that soon, isn't he? Why are you going to my capital? That is not Ainu. And he's going to it. Okay. I lost all of 87 men in gaining a province. Aaron doesn't like me. Okay, I'm gonna have to try and take him on, head on, sadly. Can't afford to have them take the capital. If they did that, I would be in a hell of a state. But yes, it seems like a certain someone wants to be my rival. His army is actually weaker than mine, which is hilarious. But yes, my home islands are quite stable now. Or rather, my home island is rather stable, and now I can set up for future invasions of other countries. So either way, I'll have that and we'll be set up. And soon we can go for a future advance into this area here. We can possibly colonise that entire coastline and use that as a way to gain strength. Yeren is not going to be able to, at any point, challenge me at sea. And I will ensure that it stays that way. Now, there's other factors as well that will influence how this is going to go. But in particular, the Kurils are going to be acquired. And so is all of this land up here, which will take a while to colonise due to this, but they will indeed be colonised. And once they are colonised, this entire region is going to be quite heavily under my control, I imagine. The other option is I could just go and focus on expansion into already colonised lands here. And focus on taking out Yeren, which would be a nice thing to do, but might not be possible. So I'm going to get all the claims I can on him. I believe I've claimed you. Can't make any more claims. May as well stop. So if I were to take his coastline, and his capital included in that, I think I'd have quite the significant force to handle him with. But all transport fleets are currently busy. Well, I'm going to have to move them over in a few segments, but this is where they're going to have to sit, I suppose, for a while. This entire region here, it could get prosperity. There's no reason it wouldn't. Tokachi itself is somewhat developed towards the ability to get the Renaissance, but it's not there yet, of course. What is my fleet doing? What the hell are you doing? So yeah, just sit them in Sakhalin and we'll eventually have the strength to invade mainland Asia. And once I've invaded Yeren a bit, I'll quite possibly be able to continue on into engaging a variety of other ones in this region, such as Buryatia. and gaining further land. And if I were to able to take all of that, I would be one happy person, because that would probably put me in a state to attack these once I become hit the Ming's tributary, and so on. But it would also put me in a state to most likely attack Japan. But I would prefer to put that off till I have a massive hold over this area. So what would my first idea group be? Well, I'm most likely going to need lots of soldiers. I don't particularly need more discipline, but I could stack that. But I could possibly begin with offensive ideas, due to the good mixture of bonuses it provides. Or I could go quantity to gain more manpower and gain a bigger force overall, so that I can throw it at them and hopefully be able to overwhelm them in more cases. If we go down the route of quality though, in which case I'd be taking offensive, followed by defensive and then quality ideas, I would be able to probably put a lot of focus into crushing the mainland Asia, and it would give me an advantage over the others that I fight. So I'm going to want to start with trying to get an advantage over Yeren, who's admittedly not, the most civilized of nations. Feudalism is present though there, so sadly they can do that. But it's not present the ones over here who are going to fall behind for a time. In theory, I can move my capital here. If I wished, could move it into mainland Asia, which could be beneficial, especially if I'm eventually going to become the Mandate of Heaven, or rather take the Mandate of Heaven. But either way, I do think I would wish to finish quite soon. And there's nothing in particular that stops me from going against Hexi, other than that they're a tributary. There's a lot of complex things that will need to be considered either way. So Sakhalin is now mine. So I could move it there at one point, can't be bothered to though. And that's part of this entire state here, which I would actually probably just, take the majority of. And well, would there be any other things I would wish to consider here? Probably that. Once I have a mainland hold established and I'm starting to produce greater amounts of troops, that I would wish to eventually, I think my focus should be on the northern area first, then on the south. And then eventually I would say Yemen's the first, then Buryatia, then I'll go for the Oryat and Mongolia, and then focus on Koshin, Haixi and Korea. That's nice. And I have an army big enough to handle this rebellion now, so I'm happy with that. But either way, we shall end here for now. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time, where we will see if we can make an advance into the entire Manchuria area. Either way, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.